Hey guys, what's going on? Brian Mead here. So today I got decks here, but we're not going to talk about individual decks today. Today I want to talk a little bit about the online game. Dueling Network has been shut down. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro as of yesterday is gone. And Dev Pro is still up, but God only knows how long that's going to last. It's a downloadable platform, so you're not going to be able to get people. Konami can't or NAS can't make people go through and delete that off their server, but they can stop it from getting new updates and stuff, and that's frustrating. Um, so I've actually been playing the game since it started off back in 2002. Uh, my very first deck was Blue Eyes. Even though I don't play dragons now, it was Blue Eyes. I've been here since the beginning. I remember when DN first showed up. I remember the days before DN when you had essentially what we kind of have now, where you can play at locals or something with a friend to play test your stuff out, or you can play at locals to play or at home. Like that's pretty much it. Or on a video game, I suppose. But if you think about the video games that we have or had at the time, back in the early 2000s to play in playtest Yu-Gi-Oh on, you're talking about some like Game Boy Advance games and stuff. And the problem with those games is that as soon as a new set comes out, all those you can't get to those cards. You can't play with any of those new cards, and those are the ones that are even released in the TCG. And then you get into the next step, which is the cards that haven't been released in the TCG that are over in the OCG that we want to play test and get an idea for. Yeah, that's not happening either. So, Dueling Network was the first big one where everyone was like, we can get to all the cards and we can play test anything. We can try anything. I remember. The first time I saw some of the Dark World stuff on Dueling Network, the field spawn stuff, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, man, I want to try this. I want to try this Dark World stuff, and I was right on it as soon as that structure came out to go out and buy that stuff and to play Dark World because I was excited for it, and that's just one example of DN Dueling Network. Selling product. Right there, I can personally say that I went out and bought Yu-Gi-Oh product personally based off of just what I saw and experienced on Dueling Network. And that's not just that case. Let's see, spellbooks. I went out and did the same thing with spellbooks, Cleforts, Inzectors, Performables, the whole Pepe thing, all that. Every bit of that was a DN or a Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, an online application of some kind that at least me personally, I saw, I got to experience that online first, and then that led to me actually picking up the product. I actually have right here. This is my Pepe deck. Whoa, not Pepe, Performables. But I wouldn't be playing this if it wasn't for stuff that I saw on online, and if it wasn't for experience that I had online. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. The reason I say that is because you have you watch TV, commercials every 10 minutes or so pop up in the middle of your show. They want to show you this, or they're going to do they're going to put products in the middle of shows. They're going to pop up advertisements in the middle of shows, on websites, in YouTube videos, in everything. Advertising is huge, and although Konami may not have been really getting any money from Dueling Network or from Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh Pro or anything like that, it's free advertising. It's straight up free advertising. It's people talking about your game and giving them a reason to go and buy your product. I can definitely say that before Dueling Network, I personally bought a lot less product. I had a lot less reason to, because you're talking about cards that you don't even necessarily know are out there, or if you haven't had the opportunity to play test with, maybe 3 copies of Sapphire Pegasus in your Crystal Beast deck. Maybe you're like, oh, I only need 1. You don't know. You don't necessarily know what's the best, and you definitely don't want to go out and invest in some card that's marked up at $50, and buy 3 copies of it when you're like, 3 copies of that doesn't work in my deck. And then you've just blown all this money for no reason. Or the other side of it is, maybe you do need 3 copies of that card, but you don't know you need 3 copies of that card, because when you're playing against your 1 or 2 friends who, no offense to your 1 or 2 friends, aren't necessarily the best at this game, you can beat them with 1 copy of the card. Whereas if you were to go to like a regional or YCS, that wouldn't necessarily be the case. You wouldn't necessarily be doing very well with just 1 copy of a card. You should be running at 3. And I actually just came back from YCS Origins. I'm sorry, I meant to put up a lot more content since then. I've just been really busy with home and work and things. I'm kind of sad this is my first video back. I actually have a little content that I'm going to put up later this week. I have a DDD deck profile to bring to you guys. I'm going to do the deck profile from my deck that I played at YCS Origins. But anyway, getting back to the point of this video, just that YCS Origins, I personally put in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of playtest time to get ready for that event. And I know I'm not alone in that. I know a ton of players. There was over 600 players there, and I'm sure that about over 500 of them put in hours and hours and hours online on one of these websites, not just playing at locals, because the fact is even if you have a locals in your area, which lots of places don't, I'm fortunate enough to live in a city where I have access to locals, but it's not like you can just go to locals every day. If you have a job, if you go to school, if you have a personal life of any kind, that means any given week you might not be able to even go to a locals if locals is in your area. Players need to be able to play test. Players need to be able to experience the product in order to have a reason to buy the product. This is not Yu-Gi-Oh specific. This is everything under the sun. If you have a good product, people are going to pay for it. So I think at that point then it really comes down to asking you, Konami. And I know that officially, according to the DN webpage, that this is not Konami, but let's be real here. Konami, we're talking to you. You done effed up. We all know about the mistakes you made last year. And now you're coming after our game. Now we understand. You're a gaming company that apparently doesn't want to make games anymore. But this is a game that it kind of fits into your new business strategy. I hate to be the bearer of what we all know here to you, Konami, but each one of these individual little cards here costs money. And a Denko right here. That's, we'll call it an $8 card. $8? $8? Oh, look, there's a couple of Lectors. Those are a couple bucks each. More than almost as much as a booster pack for 1 card. Hey, Konami, why don't you get in league with these guys? Do you really think that your new video game is going to be up to snuff? Because let me tell you, the other Yu-Gi-Oh games that you have put out have not been quality, and you are not going to get players to pay real money when they're not going to get real cards. Especially not with a platform where you're going to delete the whole platform within a year and make every cent that your customers paid completely worthless. And that's what you did last time. And that's why no one wants to pay for your product as far as an online source again. No one should have to pay just to know whether or not something is good or not. Because let me tell you something. No one's going to want to go and buy and make Luna Cats if they have to pay online $50 cash, real money, to make Luna Cats that aren't going to win. That's a brand new deck, like, in Shining Victories, guys. This is a brand new deck. Or you got starter decks coming out here. You got the DDD starter deck in 2017. It should have been coming out now. We got that Felgren crap, whatever. 2017, we're going to get those DDDs. How do you think we even know about the DDDs, Konami? It ain't from the ARC V TV show that you're not really airing very well in the United States. It's from online play. It's from websites like Dueling Network. We as a player base need this resource, and as long as you continue to, if you were to continue to support us as players by letting things like Dueling Network exist, then we can support you as consumers. I really hope that somebody out there in Konami, I doubt they're going to listen to me, but if my video is the one to do it, then excellent. And if it's somebody else's video, you know, I just watched Asian Eye Sladra's video on this topic. I've watched Cap G's videos on this topic. Cap, if you end up watching mine, you made me laugh, bro. You made me laugh hard. But this is really just a sad day for the overall state of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I really hope that this gets resolved and we as a player base have a place that we can play online to play test our stuff where they don't expect us to pay an obscene amount of money to play. I know that they want to get paid, but honestly, without it just being a subscription fee, that's very minimal. Like, if you want to charge players like $1 a month or something to have access to every card in the game, you might be able to get away with that. You might. But there's still going to be a whole bunch of players who don't even want to pay that. Like, that's a fact that you need to get through your head. Because most of the time, a lot of people, you know, they'll pay for it if it's real, if it's tangible. And personally, I would rather have a stack of 40 worthless commons than pay for a whole deck of what would be hollowed out, just awesome cards online. So one hand, it's a one hand washing the other kind of situation where you don't even realize how good this is for your product, and that's blatant by the fact that it's not readily available to the populace anymore. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Please share this video and any other videos that you see about this topic. As a community, we do have a voice, and I think the best thing that we can do as a community for the moment is just make sure that our voice is heard. Every one of us needs to stand up together and let Konami, let NAS know we are not okay with the way that they're doing business, and they're going to see it one way or another when their sales start dipping. It'll be really interesting to see what the numbers are like at the sneak peek here at the end of the month. Because my guess personally would be that starting with this sneak peek and moving forward, unless something is changed, would be the numbers go down. So please share this video, get it out there, share every video you see about this topic. Give me a comment, let me know what you guys think, and until next time, see you guys later.